I found out my why at a very, very young age. And I hope you will take this lesson on because it's going to really help you to stop procrastinating, actually taking a step forward. Rather than having to think about making the decision with improving your health and fitness, which would, have a positive effect on other areas of your life, what I've came to a conclusion was why. What is your why? Now, there is this quote by a guy named Friedrich Nietzsche. I hope I don't butcher his name. So Nietche. And it goes along the line of those who has a strong enough of a why can bear anyhow. What does that mean? Well, your why is very important because if you have a strong why, regardless of any turbulent times that is going through your life, whether that's hardship, whether that's illnesses, whether that's family, work commitment, whether you're going through a divorce, if your why is strong enough, you will be able to bear it and push forward. So you've got to think from within, what is your why? Because this is what's going to keep you going rather than stopping, starting, stopping, and starting, or even just carrying this on, or even just venturing into this realm of fitness. Okay, so let's break it down. If we were to write down our whys, okay, personally for me, when I first started my fitness journey back in 2016, it was very much selfish, right? I was born and raised in Thailand, and I moved to the UK to start a new life. English was my second language, and my confidence was really low. People used to make fun out of me. I really, really fancied different, girls that I had a really good big crush on, but then I wasn't able to talk to them because my confidence, my self-esteem was low. So my why back then was to build the strength, build the physique, so that way I can create an aura around me, so that way I can go and do the things that I want to do. So you've got to think, what are your three whys? Okay, what are your three whys? The most important thing to you. Okay, and if you're watching this video, take some notes. Take some notes. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. You're not going to learn anything, right? Take some notes and write down your whys in the comments after you've done this. So, what is your three whys? Okay, so a client of mine, his strongest whys was to build the confidence back up. Okay, confidence, because due to the nature of his work, due to the nature of his family progressing, having kids, having a wife, owning his own business, he pretty much prioritizes on everything but himself. And he sees that his confidence is starting to go low and he's gone into himself. That was his word. So he just wants to be able to build confidence back up again, to feel better in his own skin. Okay. Number two was to finally stop procrastinating and actually get the functional fitness, get the physique that he wants, right? So confidence obviously comes with consistency within training. So the second why for him was having a consistent routine. Routine consistency. Okay. Be in control. Because oftentimes for a lot of people, their why is not strong enough. Therefore, whenever work events come up, when they have to travel, they'll just prioritize that and then push this to the side. And hence the cycle just repeats after and over again because your why is not strong, right? So his why was to be in control, okay? Be in control, finally, once and for all. And the third one was to have more energy, to be able to play with his kids, right? If you are not consistent in one area of your life, it's going to affect other areas of your life. And a lot of clients we've worked with, they would get frustrated very easily. They would be moody, they'd be low in energy. And this doesn't only affect them as an individual, but it affects others around them, from their kids, the way that they react and they respond and play with their kids. The energy is low. Perhaps the way they speak to their wife is just less energy, not as nice, and it's not as an ideal husband would be, right? So to be able to have more energy, because by fixing these things, it would then have a positive impact on other areas of his life, essentially. So that's the why. Okay, so discover your why. Now I'm going to talk about what's my why now. Okay, my why is pretty much, again, still the same. My why is to have longevity, right? Longevity. Why is that so important to me? I see my grandparents, my grandma, she doesn't really do much, right, in terms of her day-to-day activities, and her health is, quite frankly, declining. And to live a life like that in your later years, it just seems like it's not as fun and fulfilling. So I want to work on myself now for the rest of my life to set up myself in a way where I have longevity, become pain and injury free. Number 2 is confidence. Okay, if you don't know, I've done a little bit of modeling back in the past. I still do some now. And if it wasn't for working on my fitness, working on myself, I would just be curled up in a little shell. I wouldn't be able to go out and speak to other people. I wouldn't have the confidence. I wouldn't even dare to. So having this confidence within myself is good because it helps you to build aura. Okay? When your aura is strong, your presence will be strong. And people can sense it just by having that eye contact with them, by speaking to them. That first 2 minutes of interaction, people can sense your aura. Okay, as I mentioned in the past, I used to have really low confidence in talking to girls. English wasn't my first language. I didn't speak properly, and I had a little bit of an accent. It was quite embarrassing. Okay, so confidence through aura and presence. And number 3 is to be able to, live life in my own terms. What does this mean? This comes down to, in terms of more about a financial position, because obviously, as you know, this is my job, right? I need to look after my health and fitness in order to provide a great service for my clients, for my future clients, for my team, right? So live life on my own terms. By working on yourself, this is going to have a positive impact on other areas of your life. So that's the why. So I would like you to write down your 3 whys and really think within, like, what is your why? How strong is it? Okay. And what are the potential costs? Okay. You got to write about this as well. Okay. What are the potential costs of not taking action? Right? If you were to keep going the way that you are going now and expecting a different result, I'd like to say that that is a definition of insanity, right? Doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result, that is insane, because essentially the reason why you're probably in this situation right now where you're feeling lost, you're in this endless cycle of stopping and starting, is because you have no why. And it's because you've been doing the same routines and habits. That's why you're in this position that you're in. So for you to be able to break free from this plateau of inconsistency, of no progress, then you'd obviously have to try new actions and new behaviors in order to get the results that you want. That could be working with a mentor. That could be actually taking the action for yourself. So here, what are the costs of not taking action? Okay. It may be painful for some, it may not, but you got to look from within. So what are the potential costs of staying the same? Okay. For me personally, it was, be self-conscious, right? And what do I mean by that? Being self-conscious, I still get it sometimes as well, where I'm not feeling myself 100%. But being self-conscious puts you in this little shell where you're just hiding away in the corner, not living your life to the full potential, not having the energy to be able to climb up that mountain, not having the ability to be able to go on a long run, go on a long mountain biking, go on a long hike, right? So this is going to limit you if you're not taking this action. Okay. Number 2 is relationships. It definitely affects your relationship with not only with yourself, but with others around you. As I mentioned, how you do something is how you do everything. Everything correlates. So if you're able to work on yourself, develop a better relationship with yourself within a routine that you can stick to consistently, that you can make progress and stack these small wins, is going to have an impact, right? Think about the last time where you felt really confident, you felt really happy, and those around you, especially perhaps your partner, your kids, your loved ones, your friends, they're going to brush that off to you, right? And if you're not that best version of yourself, they are going to feel the effects of it. So I want to protect my relationships at all costs. Number one, by working on myself, not having to think about making that decision. I will just go for it. Okay? And that's exactly what my mentor said to me. Those who has a strong enough of a why can bear anyhow. Okay. What are the other potentials of not taking actions? So this could be perhaps low in energy. Oh man, do you remember the last time where you just felt so low in energy and you didn't want to do anything? You just want to stay at home, perhaps eat a bag of chips, eat that chocolate bar, and just be in that comfort zone, right? And again, how you do something is how you do everything. Once this area of your life is not fixed, the other areas is going to be affected, perhaps from your professional work, where when you're low in energy, you're not going to be able to perform as well, you're not going to be able to think as clearly, you're not going to be able to make that step that you want because you are staying within your comfort zone. You see the correlation there? First, work on yourself, work on your inner being, work on your physical outlook and abilities, and then you'll be able to overcome that. Okay? So that would be, what are the potential costs of not taking an action? And the final one that I'd like to impart you guys with is a matrix, okay? Or let's say like a pre-state checklist. Matrix checklist. Okay. Again, one of my other mentors created this pre-state checklist. Okay. Pre-state checklist. Checklist. And we want to look into what you want to achieve. This is actually created by Charlie Munger, inversion theory. Okay, so we're going to derive that from there. So created by Charlie Munger. If you guys don't know, he's like one of the best investors out there with Warren Buffett. Okay, Charlie Munger, inversion theory. I think that's the name. I'm butchering it. Okay. So essentially, you want to think about what are the things that you want to achieve. Okay, so that's one side. Okay, and then, so this is left side. And what do I have to do to not achieve my goal? So this is the right side. So let's put this into practice, team. Boom. So this is the right side, this is the left side, okay? So what are the things that you want to achieve? Okay, cool. So I want to have more energy. I want to have a better physique. I perhaps want to earn more money. I want to improve my work performance. Okay, these are some of the examples, yeah, and we're going to invert it. Give me another one. I to be more outgoing and socialize more. Okay, so these are the wants, essentially. And now this is going to be the inversion of it. So what do you have to do to not have more energy, right? Will not work out and eat properly and follow a structured training plan. I will not have full control of my routine and stay consistent with my training. Okay, excuse me. Will not spend carefully. Okay, work on my inner self. So this will be the counter opposite. I will not be outgoing and believe in myself. Okay, so this is the inversion. Cool. Okay, so this is what you want, and what do you have to not do in order to get to where you want to be. Okay, and then we will then, based on this, create a pre-state checklist. So essentially, this will be a list where you will be watching and reading constantly throughout the day to remind yourself, okay, in order to get to where you want to be. Okay, so this could be short words or short summary of what you're going to do. Okay, so for me, I'll give you an example. Follow a structured plan and listen to my coach and have full faith in him. Okay, this one could be detachment from the outcome. So regardless of what happens, what I'm doing, I'm not going to be so stuck up upon the outcome or the results that I want. I just want to enjoy the journey. Okay, so detachment from the outcome. Next one could be relaxed, calm, and filled with gratitude. Okay. Another one is my world always takes care of me. And let's do a final one, which is I'm full of energy. Okay. And essentially, I'm taking the list from the inversion part of the page and I'm creating this into a pre-state checklist. And then what I'll do is then I will write all of this on a paper, on a piece of paper. You can even write on your phone. I have it as my screensaver. And I'll just read that constantly throughout the day to just remind myself. Okay? So that's essentially how the why can keep you going, right? If you have a strong enough of a why, you will do anything, whatever possible, to not delay taking action, to keep going and actually making that step to becoming that best version of yourself. Essentially, in life, guys, if you are not growing, you are dying, right? Give yourself the permission to be that best version of yourself, to believe, to feel, okay? Start with the why. Find out what are the potential costs of not taking action, and then create this matrix, right? What do you want? What are your goals? And what do you not have to do to get there? Based on that, create a pre-state checklist and then follow that, okay? And by the way, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed what you see, please give us a thumbs up. Consider pressing the subscribe button so that way you can be back for more videos like this one. And if you'd like to be personally coached by us, one-to-one, where you get a step-by-step process on how to structure your training, your nutrition, so that way it can be integrated peacefully into your life, so that way you can stack these small wins and be that best version of yourself, then head over to a link down below in the description to learn more about online coaching. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next video.